Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only ICP. It's been some time since I talked about this crypto, so I thought, hey, why not cover it? Listen, man, you know me, I'm super high on ICP and its technology, and I can already hear what people are going to say, haha, you're high on ICP, but the price is low or something. And look, man, that's true, but the truth is a lot of altcoins are down. A lot of altcoins are struggling, and I wouldn't necessarily blame this on a ICP issue. I wouldn't say this is an ICP issue, right? I would just say these are just how the markets are treating the altcoins. Now, do I still believe altcoin season is going to happen in 2026? Yes, based off certain charts, I finally do believe altcoin season is literally just around the corner. I'm not just saying that because that's literally next year. I'm genuinely saying this because finally there are certain signs of reversals for Bitcoin dominance. So I expect altcoin season to be very nice. And after that, I just generally expect for a big bear season. I do believe we are going to have one nice grand finale for altcoins. And then that's probably going to be it. And then recession time, baby, let's go. No, but in all seriousness, I do think it's going to get bad over the next couple of years. So all right, we will have to be paying attention. We will have to make sure we cash out. Speaking about cashing out, we did cash out very nicely around the $7 mark when ICP started to pump, right? Obviously, it wasn't near the reversal, but we just went off certain liquidity zones. And to be honest, that's a pretty good call in my opinion, right? We were aiming kind of for this liquidity. We were around just a little bit above $7, and I was like, you know what? I don't really care. Quick flip, very nice. And we can see, right? We went up to this institutional candle over here, right? We tapped into this and we can just see we melted off the next following week. And we just continued to kind of sell off consistently for weeks now. So, it's very disappointing. It's very dreadful. But when we did start to pump, I did tell people, hey, do not give FOMO. I think objectively speaking, right, if you believe in ICP at I said if you believe in ICP and you're willing to hold, for altcoin season, even getting in at $5, $6, $7, $8 for me, objectively speaking, is a great price. If you're looking at it more long term, right? And if you believe we are going to hit certain price zones of at least probably minimum 40, upwards of 70 being realistic, which we will dive into a second. So I say, you could be doing that, but personally, I would be patient. And look, right, we can see if you were patient, then you could be getting in back at 333. We are coming back to a very big zone right over here, right? This is kind of where the last relevant structure was before we started to reverse. We will monitor and see how everything is going to turn out once we do get back into the zone. Here's the deal, people, right? If you still believe in ICP, going in blind around $3 mark, whether it's a little bit higher or a little bit lower, like I said, I believe objectively speaking, that's a fantastic sniper price, right? You have to remember that in recent times, we did literally sweep the lowest of low points for ICP, right? Everything got taken out. And that's also why we started to pump very nicely. Would I wish this lasted longer and we got a better monthly candle? Yes, 100%. Because when we actually look at the monthly closes, not much has changed in terms of structure and confirmation, right? Because, the last two monthly candles that were blue have been, a low and a lower low. So I know that's a little disappointing, but that is just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Like I said, we are though approaching a big zone. Now the question is, will we get a sweep of $1.68? Now I know that sounds crazy, that sounds scary, but we are approaching this price and we are getting closer to the new year. So if we are going to be going down a lot, potentially, then we could potentially sweep $1.75 in the beginning of January, right? If you're looking for a great sniper opportunity, I think this is where you would be looking for the snipe. You would kind of have to get in blind. Would I recommend it? I mean, if you're getting ICP for $1.52 and you believe altcoin season is going to happen, then yes, in my personal opinion, then I think it's just worth the risk. Should you do it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to you. Listen, right, when we go look at the yearly chart, it's no surprise that ICP has been selling off, right? The last time we actually even had a green candle was back in 2023. Even 2024 did end up as a bearish candle. And then we can see obviously 2025 has been consistently bearish. And we can see once again when we go to the 3-month chart, we actually see we entered a 3-month order block. So, we entered a 3-month, we entered a monthly order block, we sold off. And yeah, I know it's been disappointing. I know it's been a little bit cringe and, you know, sad in a way, but, these are just the market conditions. What we are going to be looking for is how this monthly candle closes. Now, this is actually going to be very, very important because we do have a low right here in terms of 3 months. And right now we are technically a higher low. But the last thing we want is to create a lower low. If ICP closes at the end of the year below $3.14, I will be concerned for the longevity of ICP, as we would create a lower low on a massive time frame, and we would shift the overall structure to bearish. And you might be thinking, well, we are bearish right now. No, but like we would actually just be in a permanent bearish kind of trend. Okay, because yes, right now, we had a huge pump. All of this is just correcting, but in theory, it's if we do have a higher low, we could see technically also a higher high next year. But if we don't have a higher low, let's just say we do close below like the 317, then next year might just be kind of a flop of a year for ICP. And then after that, we actually could be heading to even lower prices during bear season. So that's why the structure, that's why this month is going to be probably the most crucial month for ICP ever, in my personal opinion. Now, what do we want to see? Like I said, we do want to see this monthly candle close above the 317. After that, we should start to take out zones in 2026. I do believe, we are having a very, very similar setup to what we experienced pretty much a couple of years ago at this point, right? Something like this, right? I do believe we're experiencing something like this where we are looking to be flipping very, very soon in 2026 and have a nice rally, at least to the bare minimum, in my personal opinion, which is still underwhelming, $32, right? That would be the first primary zone. I do believe we will go much higher. I do believe we will have a great altcoin season. We'll be looking to be going upwards of the $70, right? I do believe we can go upwards of the $70. And I think the highest in terms of the realism spectrum, it would be sweeping out this 2021 area, in my personal opinion. Right? Obviously, we'll have to see how structure holds and is in the moment, because that's when we actually have to make the final decision. This is all speculation based off previous institutional zones, and at the end of the day, things could change. That is it though, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll start to do more ICP news videos soon, as I've been only doing mainly technical analysis for the last couple of videos. Love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.